Hello.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Good. It's Anthony from Detroit.
Yes, the appraiser.
The appraiser. How are things going on, and how are things down there in good old Michigan?
Splendid. I mean, I told you I've been shorting a long list of stocks, and it was a wonderful day today.
Yeah, I've been heavily invested in the marijuana stock, and for some reason, all my marijuana stock is like going crazy today.
Okay, well, it's not all bad news then.
Yeah, no, I hedged a bit and I dropped a bit of it in oil because I know oil is severely undervalued, right? So that's just my opinion, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just that. Again, every commentator on TV is claiming it's the end of the market route. You don't think we're going into a bear market led by housing?
We've been going. Well, the bear market kicked off when interest rates started to slightly go up. Remember when interest rates went up slightly? The bear market started kicking off, and then the market's not holding its weight. Basically, the market's not holding under its own weight. And I think most of it has to do with housing. Because I think housing is severely overvalued.
Yeah, I was comparing houses on the Toronto housing market crash on Facebook. That's a great group. Just what you get for your money in Michigan versus Mississauga. It's quite compelling.
Oh yeah, you get a mansion in Michigan, like a nice, beautiful something in one of the something in one of the good like Deer was it Dearborn, Michigan? You could buy this nice.
Dearborn's kind of crappy. I'm thinking like it's called Washington, Rochester, or yeah, I'd say Troy.
Yeah, Troy's not that bad. I've been to Troy.
Okay.
That's on the way to Toledo, right?
No.
Okay.
On the way to Toledo's downriver. I mean, downriver's not high on the list.
Yeah, because I've been to Pontiac, Michigan. I've been to Flint, Michigan. I've been to Detroit, Michigan. I've been to
all the dumps, man.
Yeah, Flag City or Flag City, Michigan, or what was that?
Oakland County is where there's like a more high net worth.
Yeah.
Washington. Yeah.
So what are you seeing with the housing there? Like, are you seeing any changes or?
Super slow. It's getting slow, and then, just in the. I can see a lot of appraisers are struggling now.
Okay. Construction. Where's it at there? Is construction going? Is it booming? Is it just slowed down?
I haven't followed that too much. I do know that there were some houses sitting on the market quite a bit this year. Kind of like the builders asking too much, but they're asking too much, but it's still nothing in comparison to what Canadians pay to live someplace.
Oh yeah, of course. When you look at places like Kentucky and Memphis and what people pay for a house in comparison to Vancouver, holy Christ. It's like you could sell a house in Memphis, you still won't have enough for a down payment in Vancouver.
And even in the GTA, I mean, just
yeah. So are you seeing any cross border people migrating from Canada into Michigan because of the cost of living is so high in Ontario? Do you notice that at all?
Absolutely. I mean, I used to have my grandma living over there, and it's like her and her friends all sold their houses there because they were cottages, and they sold the cottages because they couldn't stand the utility rates, 10 years ago even. And then a ton of Canadians. I mean, I had a ton of Canadians in high school, just classmates, our class president. It was completely normal to be from Canada and be in my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, there's always been a pull of people because it seems like we've been competing better in industries. Yeah. So we'd have, my parents got transferred by this automotive group, this stuff like that, and people just come over from Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then in recent years, I mean, offsetting that, it seems that the Canadian economy just decided to focus on real estate, and that's why this is the mother of all crashes. I mean, you could look at the Canadian stock market, Manulife Financial, all these financials, and this is what Lost Nook talked about, the contagion into the rest of the Canadian economy of this real estate. No one's talking about that really, I don't think.
It's the Australia and Canada, and I think parts of the UK. Their economies are pegged on housing. Like they're so heavily dependent on housing to go up. Why would you throw something on a commodity like that could shift in price any time?
Yeah.
That's what
just the corruption at its finest.
Well, and you know what's right behind housing in Canada for our economy. You know what's right behind it?
I have no clue.
Student loans.
Really, like brokering out student loans.
Student loans became federal by the federal government, and they control the interest rates, and they're the ones that tell people that you got to go to school if you want to get a good job. And people get roped into these huge student loans in Canada. And I think 1 out of 15 people in Canada, or 1 out of 10 people, have a major student loan that they're going to probably carry for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and just in the United States, I mean, we're going to get ripped. I just know it. The way Trump, did you see Trump today talking about the interest rate rises not being convenient and the Fed is nuts?
Mm-hmm. Well, the interest rates in the U.S., remember, I don't know if you remember, I said it earlier in the show, was the United States needs to create some sort of a buffer or an aggregate against a coming crash. And raising interest rates is one way to hedge against a crash. And if you do it at the right time, it won't be that hard.
Oh, yeah, but it's obvious to me that it's not the right, like, the time already passed, it came and went.
Oh, yes, during the Obama administration, they should have, when Obama's second term kicked off, they should have started raising rates then.
Yeah, that's why we're seeing the global dominoes. You look at the news, India, Turkey spread into Italy, just people not paying back loans. I mean, it's a global phenomenon. And then we talked about Bolsonaro, the great victory in Brazil last week. It's wonderful for markets temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
But right now the market will celebrate this victory like as some bullish victory, like all of Brazil is going to line up in line and follow this jerk to whatever he has planned, but it's looking more like civil war.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I know where you're going with this. It's looking like, I really don't want Brazil to go into a civil war. I mean, I really like Brazil a lot. I've been there many times. The country has the potential, it has the agriculture, it has the exports, it has the materials to basically do whatever it wants. And it's so sad that basically so much corruption in the upper levels of government is basically destroying people's lives.
Oh, totally. Basically witchcraft. Like, they get out the symbols and do little rituals. It's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And then then this final topic, everyone celebrated Kavanaugh, but you really got to look at his history. Look at his history of the Jesuits and all this stuff with Skull and Bones. It's like we're just celebrating this witch doctor into his judge post. Mr. Patriot Act designer. He designed the Patriot Act, which takes away all of our rights to privacy.
Oh, the Patriot Act was the worst bill that was ever put into place. It basically, if Andrew Jackson knew of this, he would have rolled in his grave, I swear to God.
Right. So no one's opposing him on that. It's just about his sexual record. And that's where we're at in America. Well, it's been a few minutes. I'll let you get back to the regular. And I'll try to look for more specific details on construction for you next time.
Let us know what's happening in construction sector there in Michigan, Ohio, and like, you know, as far as maybe roughly Lexington, if you could go that far and just kind of look around and see what's going on, if it's taking a cool off period in that area you're in.
A lot of jitters in the auto industry. I noticed that.
Okay, tell us what's going on in the auto industry in Detroit.
Oh, just the stocks are completely tanking, and then I thought it was very desperate of Ford to introduce the Taurus one year and then stop making cars altogether the following. Like, what's your strategy? So things like that, and then so far no one is complaining about layoffs, but it's in part of this contagion we're seeing. It's like GM laid off a ton of people in Argentina. We're just in the American mindset, we're just being ingrained that it doesn't matter what happens in another country. It's gonna bite a lot of investors and portfolio holders in their 401ks pretty soon when it's all wiped out and they're completely oblivious to the fact that we need to trade with China. We need to trade with Canada and have things open. And then have you changed your mind at all on the tariffs?
Well, tariffs is it's just a way of taxing other countries, right? And we as citizens pay taxes every day, right? And I understand other countries sometimes need to pay taxes to us or to your country, or you know, to bring back jobs or to create more inclusive jobs in America. I don't know. I just think that tariffs. I think Trump's going to tariff the world apart. But this, a lot of this stuff, a lot of these deals, these shady backdoor deals that were made 10, 15, 20 years ago should have been abolished, because a lot of them sold out, and a lot of these companies forgot what it meant to be an American, right? And I think what happened was they sold out to the almighty dollar, and I think I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we have Ron Paul in the United States, who's kind of like the voice of the free market, and he is definitely got a different look at it. Just the fact that it is a tax on the American people, because we pay more now, and our industry suffer, and that's what the CEO said. So I guess we'll watch it play out, but I'm not optimistic about tariffs helping us in any way, because I don't think higher taxation is going to be bullish for my housing market, and will encourage spending.
Can I tell you why I think that's happening?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just believe that Trump is trying to devalue the Chinese currency to a point where they're just going to collapse, because remember, China is one of the biggest consumers of energy, and if China has to pay for fuel or oil or petrol in a devaluing currency, it's going to make it harder for them to cease to exist.
Oh, I see. Lost Canuck wants to I guess argue with me. I've seen him support Trump in his channel. I follow his channel, but that's just the one thing I can't agree on, is this love for Trump when his high taxation punishes Ontario in such a way. I like Canadians too much to support this joke. Laughing at us starting wars with Iran that we don't want. Committing blasphemy, basically, but there's a long list, and putting his son-in-law in power. But that's I guess I'll keep it between me and Canuck. But yeah, I'll let you take your channel back, and maybe Canuck can call in and tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate your support here, Anthony. Keep your finger on the pulse also with the auto industry, and let us know what's going down there in Detroit. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, bro. Have a good one.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.